Hi folks, welcome to today's video, how to reduce low back or sciatica pain whilst driving. Now, before we get into it, don't forget if you're enjoying the content I bring to you on a weekly basis, helping folks out there with lower back pain, sciatica nerve pain issues, herniated disc, etc., hit that subscribe button, okay? Make sure you're made aware when I upload something new. And don't forget to like, share, and comment as well. Now, today's video, I'm going to be going over 9 very, very important things you can do whilst driving in the car to reduce that sciatica nerve pain, reduce that lower back pain, and hopefully have a pain-free car journey. So without further ado, let's get into this. So folks, I'm going to go over 9 very important points, movements, setups, if you will, that's going to help alleviate some of that sciatica nerve pain, low back pain you may experience whilst driving, especially long journeys. Now, number one of the most important things that I still see people do, it's one of the easiest things to help you with your driving posture, is take your wallet out of your back pocket, okay? This is mainly cards, it's not thousands of dollars in cash, right? There's a lot of stuff in there, okay? If that is in my back pocket and I'm sitting in the chair, I'm completely out of kilter, okay? It's jamming up one side, could be pushing up into the sciatica nerve, tilts my pelvis. Take your wallet out of your back pocket, okay? Put it in the console, put it in, if you've got like your cargo shorts, put it in the side pocket, whatever. Get it out of your pocket, right? The same goes for your telephone, right? And the same goes for your keys, all right? We're trying to prepare ourselves before getting in the car, all right? So get those back pockets empty, all right? Now, number 2 is actually how do you get into the car? Now, I was going to be videoing this earlier in the day today in the car, but it's actually later now, so it's dark. Okay, it's a bit rain outside. So we're going to be using this as my car chair, so do bear with me, all right? Now, as far as getting into the car is concerned, you see some people, I had to change everything, how I moved when I was getting into the car when I was back in the US. But if we take, okay, I'll do, this is pretending this is the car here, right? People open the door and they're kind of like one leg's in, they're twisting and turning and they're bending, okay? You have to, when you got injured now, your sciatica nerve pain could be from herniated discs, okay? You may have herniated discs but no sciatica nerve pain, but you've got back pain. Many, many different root causes of these issues. I'm going to try to get you in the car as safely as possible, trying to maintain a neutral spine. So you do open the car door, okay? I want you to go backwards into the car. So you're going to be hip hinging and you're going to be sitting down into the chair. Okay, but it's a normal level sized car. If you're going to be getting into like an SUV, like a Suburban, something like that, Isuzu Troupe or whatever, obviously it's a bit higher, okay? So you're going to be getting yourself on the chair and then swinging yourself around into the sort of the seat pocket itself. So you get into your chair and then you can sort of basically move yourself around and get your feet into the car wheel. Trying to avoid, one leg, twist my spine, rotate, twist, yeah? I understand you can't go out and buy a new car, okay? I know that, right? I'm well aware of that. So it's trying to find how you can get into the car in the safest position, keeping the spine in neutral. Now, I do harp on this a lot about how you move in daily life. There's actually a video that's going to pop up at the end of this video. It's about avoiding flexion before noon. It's a really good video. It details about how you carry yourself throughout the day, minimizing spinal flexion, which has been proven in the scientific research to reduce chronic lower back pain, pain intensity, and number of days in pain. Go check it out at the end of this video, okay? As I say, I do harp on about it a lot. It's actually a big part of my course that I run. If you've not checked out this course, it's going to pop up in the link in just a second, www.bashbackpain.com/course. It is a 21-day video course designed to reduce your lower back pain, sciatica nerve pain, herniated disc pain, etc. Bring you back down to a much more normal level to get some of your pain-free life back, okay? If you've not checked it out, go check it out today. However, let's move on. So, number 1, get the keys, the wallet, phone out of the pocket, okay? Number 2, how to get into the car, okay? Make sure the spine is neutral, get yourself in, rotation, like twist the legs around. Don't be bending and twisting to get into the car. Now you're in the car, okay? You want to be actually, now most people, a lot of people driving, okay, they're up away from the seat, right? They're in the, hands up here, okay, peering out the window. You actually want to lean the seat back. So maybe like a sort of 10, 15 degree angle, okay? Why is that? Well, you want to be putting some of the upper body, the upper back weight here on the seat itself, because that's going to take that weight onto the seat along with your head, so make sure you use the headrest, okay? That weight is now going to be on the seat and not acting down on your spine, all right? Which if the sciatica pain is from herniated disc, bulging discs, you're going to take some of that weight off the spine onto the seat. Now, I know with issues with some of the seats, that they have no lumbar support. Okay, some other cars you can bring the lumbar support, you can twist the thing or press the button, it increases. You want to have some sort of lumbar extension here, neutral extension. If your car doesn't have that ability, you can buy these little kind of like lumbar extension boards. But what I've found in the past, what I used to do, I just get a kind of beach towel, roll it up, get some elastic band around it, it's like a little sausage, and stick it in here. So it keeps my sort of leaning back, and it kept me in this bit of extension here. Okay, so my spine was nice and neutral, right? Now, a lot of things with modern cars as well, this is what I call like the pan or the bucket, yeah? There was an issue of this back in the UK. It was like the late 90s, early 2000s, where the Premier League football, soccer, a lot of money came into the sport. A lot of those players were buying, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, super low sports cars. So the whole drive like super low like this, spines in complete flexion. And there was actually an increase in lower back issues with some of the players. And it can be traced back to how much time they were spending in their, basically in their race cars, right? So it's very important that you do have good lumbar support. And along with that is number 4, we'll call this, is the bucket. And quite often, a lot of these modern cars have like a very deep bucket. So when you sit in it, it automatically kind of forces your kind of buttocks here down, which forces you into this like, rotation, this lumbar flexion of your spine. And even if you've got your roller on, you still can't get neutral, right? So you may find that another towel, I know it's another towel, placed here, kind of where the bucket section is, just to sort of bring yourself up into a more solid position, okay? So I know, again, we can't change the car, but we can change some things within the car, all right? Now, so I'm in the car, I've got my bucket sorted, I've got my lumbar support, okay, I'm leaning back. Now, what you also want to do is, if it's a sciatica nerve issue, either on the left or the right, or unfortunately sometimes in both, you want the knee to be bent, okay? It's going to take stress off that nerve. How do you do that? Pull your lever, and pull your chair closer to the wheel, okay? So, number 5 is going to be bend the knee, pull the seat forward. So I get closer to the wheel. Now my knee is bent, less stress on that sciatica nerve. Now again, you might find when the knee is bent that you have a gap here between your leg and the seat, and you might feel that you've got some tension because you have to hold yourself, okay? If that's the case, again, I know it's another towel, but bear with me. If this is a long car journey, you're going to thank me, all right? A towel, maybe just a small towel wedged under here, so there's no space between the thigh and the top part of that pan of your seat, all right? So, we got our knees bent, got my lumbar support here, maybe I've got a bucket support, head's on the pad. What about the hands? Now, if you're classically trained, back in driving school, 10 to 2. Now, the thing with 10 to 2 is people tend to drop one hand, right? That goes on the gear shift or starts playing with the stuff in the central console. Okay, if you're British, it's this way, right? But for North American friends, it's the other way. And what will often happen is this elbow will shift onto the side of the window. Now, when that happens, you're going to get a lateral shift of the spine. You're going to be leaning on one side. More stress goes on one side. If it's a disc irritation, you're going to irritate it more. If it's sciatica nerve from muscular issues, it's going to be irritated more. So we actually want to change the hand position from the classic 10 to 2 to more into a 9 to 3, even maybe like a 8 to 4 if you're on a long journey. And the arms can rest down here. And this takes stress off the shoulders, stops you from leaning on the window, and it keeps everything nice and level, okay? So number 6, change your hand position. Now, number 7 is going to be foot position, and I'm going to face the camera for this one here. Now, when you typically get into the car, okay, we've got our accelerator on the right side, you get your brake pedal in the middle, okay, and if you're driving a stick shift, or in the UK most likely, you get your left is going to be on the clutch, okay. Now, if you're in America, you're going to have a door on the left side. If in the UK, Australia, South Africa, you're going to have your central console, okay, with your GPS, radio, you get your central bit there, gear stick bends or shifter is on the left side, okay? So I will talk to both people from wherever you drive, left or right side of the road, all right? So I get in, I've got my seat sorted now. I want to ensure my toes are vertical, okay? Why? Now, if I let the leg drop out to the side, okay, I get an external rotation of my femurs here, the femur bone, and this muscle it's called the piriformis muscle. It's an external rotator of your your femur, your top thigh bone here. And the sciatica nerve, depending on how we're structured, it can go above the piriformis, go under the piriformis, and in some cases, actually can go through the piriformis, okay? If your sciatica nerve pain is from that particular muscle issue, some sort of compression, then you want to keep it quiet, the piriformis. You want to keep the leg in neutral position, because when it rotates out, we're going to get that piriformis working a little bit. That may aggravate the sciatica nerve pain. So I want you to be neutral. How do we be neutral? Okay, left leg, which is going to be, if you're on automatic, that left leg is going to be sitting, typically there's a little foot plate with automatics on the far left there, and it's where your foot rests, okay? Rest it in a nice position, make sure the toe is up, okay? That'll keep it nice and neutral. And again, if you're in America, that's going to be leaning up against the edge of your footwell, up against the door. If it doesn't have a foot plate, if you still feel your leg is dropping out to the side, what are we going to do? Bring in another towel, all right? I know you think you're going to be padding yourself in here forever, okay? Guys, you got a 3, 4, 5, 6 hour drive ahead of you, you're going to thank me for this, okay? Take another towel, maybe it's your jacket you've got in the back seat, whatever, and you put it, okay, American car, where the door is here, put it down where you've got that bit where you've got your electric windows, maybe the mirror system, put it there and it will sit nice and against your leg and it will keep the leg neutral, okay? If you're in the UK, of course, this is going to be a central console, it's going to be your left side, okay? If it's in America, right, and your gas pedal, of course, for the right foot is going to be your gas pedal, and the UK. UK, you got a door on the right side, USA, you got a central console. Now, and you think, oh, well, Colin, I can't, jam my foot in there because I'm going to be like on and off the gas, right? How do I, or if it's the left leg, UK, I'm going to be on and off the clutch. Listen, try to keep it neutral, okay? When you want to go onto the clutch, okay, I consciously bend the knee and I push the foot down, keeping it neutral, all right? With the gas pedal, okay, and I've got my right leg here, this is where the sciatica nerve pain is. Again, I'm trying not to let it drop out to the side. So again, if it's the US, we've got my central console. I could just put a little cushion or a little pad just down here where that console is to keep this thigh in neutral. Leg can just be lying gently against the footwell. Okay, turned a little bit that way, but the leg doesn't rotate over. Okay, same in the UK. It's on the gas pedal here. This is the accelerator. Again, the door is here. Got my small pillow. I stick it down here to stop the leg from dropping out to the side. Those little tips will help you keep the feet neutral, the toes up, which will relieve the stress on that piriformis, which will, if that's your cause your sciatica nerve pain, reduce the sciatica nerve pain, okay? I know it sounds like a lot of tells, but seriously, when I was at my worst with sciatica nerve pain, lower back pain, I was trying everything to get myself comfortable, right? And there was a lot of trial and error to figure out what worked, and that's why I'm trying to give it back to you guys, okay? So that is number 7, is foot position. Now, number 8, which may sound very obvious, is actually taking breaks, yeah? I used to do a lot of road trips in the US. I drove from Connecticut up to Maine. I went to Florida a couple of times. I even did a 30-hour road trip across to the Badlands of South Dakota. I was all over the place. I love driving across America, right? But there was a lot of prep I had to do before, especially post-injury. And one of those things was, which number 8, was taking breaks, yeah? So if you're driving 6, 7, 8 hours, or that's what your journey time will be, it's ensuring that you've got a co-pilot, that's great, because you can swap over, take your stress, you can be stretching on the side of the car or whatever. But if I was just driving myself, then I would, of course, try to plan if I could feel things that was creeping in, the sciatica nerve pain. Even with all my positioning, it was still, okay, I can feel it coming in. Pull into a gas station, a petrol station, get out of the car, take a little walk around just to sort of, relieve the stress. I would actually, there was usually like a bench or something by the gas station. I would do some of my sciatica, nerve release stretches. Okay, I could do them there. If you don't know any of those kind of stretches, there's another video going to pop up at the end of this current video. That'll be a nice one for sciatica stretches. Go and check that one out as well, okay? So taking plenty of breaks, doing your stretches is vitally important, all right? And number 9, the last one is you get to your journey, your journey's end, you finish your journey. How do I get out of the car, right? Because again, you could, everything's done right, you've got in the car correctly, you've sat properly, your knees are vertical, you're supported, you're 9 to 3 here. You get your journey, you swing open the door, and you're just like lunging yourself out, okay? You're actually rotating, flexing, you're doing everything that's going to basically annoy your back, annoy your sciatica nerve pain, yeah? Now remember, these activities, these are for people who do have these kind of issues. Okay, you got a healthy back, you have no issues, then of course you can get in and out of the car however you want, right? But if you're a sciatica nerve pain sufferer, lower back pain sufferer, you pull in, okay, you finish your journey, key comes off, okay, put it in your pocket, whatever. You swing open the door, okay. Now, similar as to before, we're going to be kind of maybe propping ourselves up off the chair here, and we're going to sort of like, put your foot out, one leg out, careful walk around. Hands either on the side of the car to help us pull out, or on the knees, depending on the size of the car, okay. Head up, chest up, make sure you crack your head off the top, okay. Might have to go under a little bit, and you're going to push up and out, maybe push on the side, out of the car, all right? Don't just be, swinging out of there, okay? If you've got a Ferrari and that's all you've got, I'm gonna have to let you off on that, okay? But if you're just driving a normal, regular sedan, crossover, Jeep, whatever, once you get the legs, you may have to push as well, legs and everything turns this once, and then you can step out of the car, okay? I remember once I got out of the car, I think it was in South Carolina, I mentioned it in one of my blogs. Get out of the car, okay, I'm moving, but I was all buckled over, like the sciatica nerve pain was pretty bad, and I just hear this voice across the parking lot. I think I was stopped into a Walmart or something like that. This guy, hey boy, look like me, get out of that car, right? This really sweet old American gentleman, got to be in his late 60s, early 70s, was looking at this young guy, barely turned 30, getting out of this car, like walking like a crooked old man. And I was, back problems, but he's, okay, son. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, how I used to be at one stage. But again, this was part of my, system that I used to do as well, was, setting myself up to get into these car journeys, learning how to keep myself in a good position. And I hope these 9 tips will help you with those same issues, okay? So guys, listen, any questions, whatever, hit me up in the comment section down below. Don't forget those 2 videos are gonna pop up very soon. Of course, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.